Hi, my name is María López, and I'm going to talk about the video "A Global Food Crisis May Be Less Than a Decade Away" by Sara Menker. We have heard through the years that a global food crisis is coming, and that we have to be prepared for that, or we need to try to stop it, or we need to do something to avoid it. And one of the most common questions about this global food crisis is how we are going to feed all those people that will be by 2050. One of the most common answers to it is that we need to produce more food to supply that demand. I don't agree with this, and I'm going to explain some of the factors that Sara Menker mentioned on her video. The reality is, and according to Sara Menker on her TikTok given on 2017, this year is very far from now. That's why many people don't care about it. But if we continue doing what we are doing, this crisis can hit us sooner than that. In her video, Sarah tried to explain how global food and agriculture can have a tipping point if the demand surpasses the agricultural system's structural capacities to produce food, unless we set some structural changes. Sarah and with her company, they discovered that this tipping point is actually a decade from now. And for 2027, we will need 214 trillion of calories to supply the demand. I think this is the biggest problem, but not the only one. She mentioned another problems like that some areas of agriculture or industry use, or most of the areas use just a very little part of the available data to take critical or very important decisions that can affect the whole chain or the whole industry or the whole agricultural system. This is another problem. Another is that most of the business and citizens lacked on guide to on how we can avoid a global food crisis. Why why we are talking about calories? The reality is, and according to Sara Menker, the reality is that we have to talk about calories and not about the mass, because the calories are what sustain us. That's why we have to focus on them. But the reality is that no one takes care about the calories or the production of calories. And we need a great amount for the 2027. We need a great amount. And just to illustrate this exorbitant number of calories that we will need, we can imagine, or we can think about a Big Mac. A Big Mac has 576 calories. So, to supply the demand of 2014 trillion of calories, we need 379 billion of Big Macs. That's a great number of Big Macs, and that's a great amount of calories. The importers and exporters of calories have changed through the years. China and Africa, that were net exporters of calories, now are net importers of calories. Unlike to India, that now is food self-efficient. The same for South America. All those countries that have calories deficits have have been able to survive by importing all those calories. But and here is the problem, this can change at any time. So we can get into a discussion on how that we have to change our consumption patterns, or we have to reduce the food waste to avoid the wasting of all those calories that we will need in the future. But the reality is that all these solutions have been on the table for many years and nothing has happened. So we have to start to think about another ways. So how can we really solve all these problems and avoid this global food crisis? Well, like I said before, and like Sara Menker said, we need to set structural changes. We need to change the commercialization. If we change the commercialization, that means that we have to use all the available data to make better policies, to improve infrastructure, to low cost of transportation, to get a better distribution of the food. And this is not just about the farmers. This is about the entire agricultural system. We have to take advantage of the fact that now we have a great tool for success, that is data and knowledge. This data and knowledge this data and knowledge can, according to Menker, can not only solve the 214 trillion gap of calories that we will need, but also with these tools we can lead our earth to a new path for success. Thank you.